Buffy is the quintessential badass character. She's everything Ripley wasn't, but should have been. Buffy is the best, even in season 4, where that guy that she was dating, who is the soldier, he said, I've never seen anything like it. You get the information, you make the plan, you tell the team all their parts in the plan,
right?
You execute the plan, you do everything. He was so impressed because it takes multiple people in the military to do what she does. She's like the CIA, a general, a squad leader, and a special operative all in one. She does it all.
All in one. Yep.
And then she's not even like traditionally smart. She's not book smart at all. She just makes good decisions and is a great leader.
She's astute, like sly and smart in a real world way. Yes.
She's got perception.
All right, welcome everyone. As usual, here on Geeked and Jacked, I'm your host, Gonzo Herrero, joined by the doctor, the mad scientist, the doctor, Dr. Todd Lee. How are you doing today, sir?
Today was harder than most.
Okay. Anything in particular happen, or was it just a combination of things? Or
no, just 3 low days in a row.
Oof.
So today is as bad as it gets, and then tomorrow's a moderate day.
Shit. So what's your low days like now that you're like, because you're right on the, you're what? This is next week,
8 days out. I'm 8 days out.
8 days. So this is it. So what's a low day like for you at this stage?
It's like 135 carbs.
135 carbs. Protein?
Protein's 285.
Okay, so it's low. That's
40 grams of fat. So it's was that 320? 320, so that'd be 1280 plus 360. So it's like 1640 calories or something like that. It's not very much.
Not a lot.
No.
And 3 in a row too. So it grinds.
Yeah, it's bad.
Is that because these are the days that you don't train? Like, is that
No, I trained. Yeah, I trained for 3 hours today. I did 3 hours of upper body, and I had an hour worth of cardio and a half an hour of posing. So that's 4.5 hours of training.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I just started, that I've got that show, which, by the way, got moved to November 15th because of the venue. The venue's getting renovated, so they had to find a different venue, which is to our advantage because it's 2 extra weeks, But my low days but I'm nowhere near where you are in size or caloric need. So my low days are like, what is it, 200 protein with like 40 grams of added fat, 0 carbs though, other than broccoli. Yeah.
Paul has you down to 960 calories.
That's on non-training days. And non-training days now are only going to be like 2 a week. So, it's not terrible. He's making me do the more bodybuilder type workout. I'm going to do it like his way. This is new to me. So I'm going to follow the coach 100%. Just blindly trust that he's guiding me. So I'm going to do that. So yeah. And same with Chandler, with my kid, even though he doesn't do the diet quite as hardcore as I do, we're going to see. He's also leaner than I am. So we'll see how it all goes. But working on that posing and I will say this, I'm already down to like 196 in 8 days, which is not bad. He wants me to hit the stage around 177, somewhere around there, hopefully. So 15 or 20 pounds from here. So we'll see. We'll see if that's how that works out, my friend. We'll see.
If you have legs, why are you doing physique, not classic physique?
So a couple of reasons. First, it's because since I'm doing it with Chandler, with my kid, and I want to be like there for him, it's we decided to like go into the easier. I don't have a lot of mass either, and the posing is a lot less complex for him because remember, I've got to teach him.
All right. So the point is you have to do it with your son on the same stage. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not going to enter a different division than him.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Because that's the idea, to kind of do it as a father and son thing. See if I enjoy it, like you've told me and Paul's told me, all my bodybuilding friends have told me, this is one of those things that you do. Larry told me, like, you'll either love it and then you want to do it again and again and again, and it becomes a lifestyle, or it's a one and done. And you're like, I've done it, I've experienced it, didn't enjoy it, moving
That's
on. So we'll
bullshit.
see.
No, you're gonna love it.
I know, because I like a challenge.
You're an
So it'll be
outgoing
fun.
person. You're an
Yeah,
extrovert.
that too. Yeah.
That you're gonna enjoy being on stage.
I think so. I'm starting to get like it's very similar to when I played with my band, it's the same kind of like super
the
fun.
the best way to put it would be like if your entire life was black and white, but you never knew. And then the moment you step on stage, life is in color.
Gotcha. Shit.
And then once you step off stage, it just goes back to black and white again.
Wow.
So you're only alive one day a year.
Yeah.
And you're only alive for 10 minutes of that one day a year.
Wow. That's fucking crazy. That's how I
your
felt.
whole life revolves around being on that stage for just 10 minutes a year.
So it's this incredible amount of sacrifice and focus for that one moment of,
and it's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, it's that
the rest of your life is so absolute worthless compared to that one period of time on the stage that you dedicate the whole rest of the year to that one few moments.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's like what it's like for a gladiator.
Yeah.
The amount of adrenaline you feel when your life's on the line. Not that your life's on the line being on a bodybuilding stage, but that there's just nothing else worth your time after that. Nothing else could possibly be worth devoting your life to.
So is it like that pinnacle of achievement, right? Of like, here it is. It's all there. Everything you've done, everything, you're just laying it all out there.
No.
So, no?
No.
That's what it seems like from this side.
No. It's just not like that. Because I don't feel like I achieve shit. It doesn't matter if I won or not. I never feel proud of myself. I just do it to be on stage.
Okay. For the experience itself, the raw experience.
Just the emotional experience of, it's almost like the better you perform, the more you entertain the crowd, the more they feed that into you.
Yeah.
And it's like you have like thousands of people whose whole emotional state is hanging on you, or you're just bad at posing and they're bored and they're not paying attention. You get nothing out of it.
Right.
But if you can actually nail the music with the time, you pick something dramatic enough and you can hit the timing just right and your posing's well executed, you can feel the crowd's emotional energy. And it's like a capacitor where everything you pour into them, they pour back into you, which then is amplified. You can pour into them, that pours back into you. And assuming you pick the right track, it's not some hip hop R&B bullshit, but it's real metal.
Not gonna be.
And it builds up and builds up and builds up. And then when you hit the crescendo and stuff, that you usually get a standing ovation.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of digging that. That's making me hungry for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, for someone who likes Clan Toreador so much, you're gonna, once you're on stage, then there's nothing like it.
Is that performance, man? That's the performance. So, all right. So let's get into nerdy shit now that we've done the updates on the bodybuilding shit. So this time you and me, we are going to fix what Disney's $200 million writing rooms can't do. And it is how to fucking write a solid female character that has depth, that is interesting, that can play well with others, and that can carry a film. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to
my answer.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to talk about the top 15, according to me, the top 15 examples of that, of like well-written, well-developed characters. You ready? Let's do this thing. All right. So the first thing is like, so let's define our target. And the target is like Disney and Marvel. We know this, the trend of shallow, unrelatable bullshit female leads. We're talking like Reva in fucking, oh God, what was she in? Was it Obi-Wan? Was it? Oh my God. Anyway, Captain Marvel. The fact that I don't remember what show Reva was on should tell you everything. Yeah, I think it may have been the Acolyte. It's one of those. Anyway, Captain Marvel, we know, and Ray after episode 7 just turned into like, the same thing. And here's two things that stood out as I was like reading through this and kind of thinking through to put together this episode. I want to hear your thoughts if you agree with this or what do you think. The first one is mistaking power for personality. You make her super strong, right? I mean,
that they can't, like, the bitch has no charisma, so they just give her power, and so
yeah.
that people are supposed to like her. It's like, people don't like you because you're powerful. They dislike you because you're powerful. Otherwise, why would women hate men so much? It's because they feel inferior, and that's why they hate them, is they're jealous of the men's.
So the fact that you can punch out a starship is impressive looking, but it has no depth. It has no, powerful is powerful, whatever.
If you have that much omnipotence, then you don't ever develop enough character that comes from failure and humility.
Yep.
Likewise, you don't think of any way to solve a problem that isn't violence.
Yep. Because you're just powerful and you've never had to face a problem and solve it with your mind.
So the problem, the reason why these women characters are so detestable is that women are writing characters that they think are what men are.
Right.
They're trying to butch up this female character, and they basically pour into it everything they're jealous of men about. And they just make this incredibly toxic female character that no one wants to have anything to do with in or off the stage. Yeah. And the only way to write a likable female character is to have men write them, because men would actually write a character he would want to date.
I'm gonna challenge that a little bit in the sense that yes, and we'll get into the do's and don'ts for sure. Like this is like we're defining the problem. But another thing, and it kind of leads from what you just said, you just reminded me, is that a lot of these writers think that being snarky means that you have depth, that your character has some kind of depth, and it doesn't.
No.
Being snarky is annoying.
Right. And that women think that men find it attractive if they're bitches. It's like, no. You see a correlation between bitches getting men. The reason why the bitches get men is because they're hot. And because they're hot, they never learned how to be charming. So they happen to be bitches. But it's not because they're bitches that they get all the good men. It's because they're hot that they get all the good men. And it's men tolerate their bitchy personalities until they get old. And then when they're not hot anymore, they just get rid of them.
Gotcha. They replace. That's when the 50-year-old guy like me, like, divorces the wife and goes with the 20-something. End up like that.
It
the
doesn't
Bill
go like
Belichick
that.
guy.
The wife leaves the husband because she thinks she can do better. And then the husband dates someone who is their daughter's age and gets her, while the woman who left her husband doesn't actually replace him. So then she's bitter because her husband has moved on to someone half her age. And then so she twists it around and says, that son of a bitch was cheating on me with that girl. And so I left him. When really it was the polar opposite situation.
It was the cougar left and the cougar did not hunt successfully.
Right. They said she's got so many dudes in her DMs. She thinks she's hot shit, but she ain't shit.
Yeah. Well, so the whole like thinking. So the other thing about snarky now somebody that's witty is different.
Yeah.
Witty is fun.
Right. Being
good
smart
banter.
and funny is good. Being a bitch is not.
Exactly. I think a lot of these writers in these rooms just they don't see the difference. They just don't see.
They're not smart and they're not witty.
Yeah.
So they can't write witty characters that are smart if they're not witty or smart.
Yeah. And if they're have no picked contrast.
For identity. All these writers are chosen for their identity politics, not for competency. If they were competent, they wouldn't be writers. They'd be comedians.
We talked about that last week. By the way, people, check out last week's episode, which was freaking genius. So
I don't know about that.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was funny and it was entertaining.
We had a good time. We enjoy our show. Whether anyone else watches it, fuck if I know. But we enjoy
apparently some people do. Like we've had some comments lately that make me think that we're onto something that eventually, who knows, maybe 5 years from now it'll be like the most random show ever. and people fucking enjoy it. That's, you never know. So anyway, so here's a couple of don'ts that I kind of like laid out, and I want to hear what you think about these don'ts. There's 5 of them. So first, don't make her good at everything from the jump, like from the get-go. Like, hi, here's this new character, and she's like fucking Khan. What are you better at? Everything. You don't want that. You know what I mean? You don't want that character to always be good at everything without earning it. What do you think of that?
I don't even care.
That would turn you off, right? It would be like, oh, okay, so she's good at everything.
I think
so
any character that's the chosen one is a piece of shit character and is lazy writing.
Yeah, unless they go through a very interesting and unique hero's journey. And even if you do that, you got to do it from the bottom. No, you got to do it Luke Skywalker style.
Women like Superman because he's all powerful. Men like Batman because he has no powers. He has to use his mind to solve problems.
Yeah.
Because men actually have to solve problems when women just look to a man to solve their problems. So Superman's the ideal man to them because he can fix all their problems. Whereas Batman's the ideal man to men because he solves all the problems with his mind.
Yeah. Speaking of Superman and women, have you ever read an article? I forget who wrote it. I think it was a writer called Peter David. It sounds like his style. He wrote something like Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex. Have you ever heard of this?
It's hysterical.
It is. And
I don't need to read the article because I know exactly what he's going to say.
You know where he's going with that. Yeah. And it is hilarious. So if you're ever bored, Google that, have a laugh. It's on me.
Like Lois Lane is completely useless. I would have much rather see Superman date someone who is worth something.
Well, the who did he have? He had Lana Lang from Smallville, I guess, but that's like the small town girlfriend. Who else has he had as a romantic interest that's interesting?
I don't give a flying fuck. Superman is the dumbest character ever. Omnipotent characters are a waste of my fucking time.
Yeah. Unless
I couldn't care less about omnipotent characters.
The only way an omnipotent character is interesting is to explore ideas, like Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen. That's about it.
Or like Thanos.
Yes, again, to explore an idea, and that only omnipotence could bring. Or the Beyonder in the original
Thanos,
something like that. Yeah.
Thanos had a really, really bad idea, and he worked really, really hard at doing it.
Yeah, he could grind.
Like, I'm going to wipe out half the population so there's more resources. It's like, why not just increase the resources?
There you go. You're omnipotent.
Why not just eliminate the dumbest half the population?
Right. Or the
why
bad
be
ones?
Random?
Not just random.
Get rid of the dumbest people.
Okay. All right. So second point that I think is important in the don't. Let's, roast these people. Don't make her hate male mentors just because. Don't make her be a man hater just because she's a man hater. Like
But the writers are man haters. That's why they got the job. They didn't get the job because they're talented. Otherwise, people would like the show.
Well, that's why we're fixing this problem right now.
Right. Well, we don't need to. So these are irrelevant issues because neither of us are angry feminists that are chosen for identity politics. If we wrote a show, we could easily write incredibly interesting, multifaceted female characters that are more fun to watch than anything any woman would write.
So you hear this, Disney? Send us money. We can do this.
I don't need money. I'll do it for fucking free. I just want to see these people thrown in the street and watch them starve. I'll do their jobs for free. Man.
Yeah,
no, I just want to destroy their lives. I want to destroy every writer for Disney's life. I will take all your jobs. I will do it better than all of you. I will be the female character you write that doesn't exist. I will be superior to you in every way, except for humility.
Okay. So the next ones, and we can go through these quickly because I think we've kind of hit on them already. The next one is don't remove the stakes because perfection is boring. We've talked about this. Perfection is boring. So I don't want to waste time on this one. Don't confuse sass with strength. That's the other one for sure. Remember the whole scene with Thor and Captain Marvel and he summons the hammer and she doesn't flinch. I like this one. Come on, man. Come on. Like, she's sassy.
I don't remember any of Captain Marvel's lines. I don't give a fuck about that bitch.
It's probably PTSD. It's
She
PTSD.
was. He is funny. Everything Thor says in all the movies is funny. Well, I
Chris
shouldn't say all
Hemsworth
the
is
movies.
great.
From
Yeah.
Ragnarok on, when
Mhm.
Chris got to write his own lines,
Yeah.
it was funny.
Yeah. He is hilarious. That dude can act. He's got great comedic timing too, by the
Yeah.
way.
All
Like,
the more reason the women should hate him is because
yeah.
he's good at everything and he doesn't get written by an audience, by
He's
a bunch of writers. He just happens to be good at everything.
he's good at everything. He's ridiculously good looking and in shape. And incredibly faithful and happy
To
with
his
his
wife with 4
which
kids.
is
Yep.
which drives women insane, I am
Yeah,
sure.
every woman would try to destroy their marriage just to see if she could.
Yeah. Probably.
They'll just like, "Oh, I'm going to try to ruin this marriage just because it's what they like to do."
Yeah, possibly. Or just sheer wanting to have what you can't have. It's just that simple. And then the last one, which we talked about, is don't skip the hero's journey. Again, don't make her perfect from the get-go, because that's fucking stupid. Because if she starts perfect and ends perfect
I don't
and
like
is
that.
surrounded by idiots.
I'm so sick of these fucking movies where they've got the origin story where they start with they got powers and they don't know how to use them and they don't have a suit, and by act 3 they know how to use their powers and they have a suit and they beat some villain. It's just so fucking boring. I'd
Yeah.
rather just have you start as a fully developed superhero and use flashbacks through act 2 to establish your origin story.
Yeah, and give you that background that you need. Absolutely.
And don't take their powers away in act 1 and then they have to spend all act 2 getting their powers back. That's just frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, and it's been done. It's been done. So
All
now
of their
let's talk about.
tropes are fucking garbage, and I can do all of their jobs better than them with my eyes closed.
Yep. All right, now some of the things that you can do that we should tell these writers, like, consider this, guys. So the first one, obvious. Give her weaknesses, make her fail, let her learn.
I don't agree
We're
with
human.
that. I don't agree with that. That's not irrelevant. No.
Yeah.
Just
To me, that's
have
important.
I think the most important thing is have men write all the characters so that all of them are logical, rational, sane people that make good decisions based on the information they have at the time. And that, like you said too, is witty dialogue.
Yeah. Yes, witty dialogue goes a long way to making that character likable and approachable and relatable, which is what you want, right? Because you want your audience to relate to the character because they'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. That's something I can
Not
emulate."
necessarily. I think it'd be cool if they just had some ancient god like Venus and she woke up from a sleep and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to reclaim my kingdom," and she's just going to take over Rome or some shit. And people try to stop her and she just breaks their necks and rips their heads off. And she's not relatable at all. She's just like, "I'm a fucking goddess. This is my city. And if you get in my way, I'm going to fucking kill you." And that she has no flaws. She is omnipotent. It starts the movie like that. But she actually has contemplation where she considers doing things before she does them. She considers the consequences of her actions. She looks back at her actions, reevaluates, and decides she didn't do it the ideal way. There's room for improvement.
Yes.
Also, where she actually interacts with people that are beneath her and doesn't treat them like shit just because they're men.
Yes. And that leads to my third point, which is that relationships matter. So your mentors, your rivals, your losses, your loves, your sacrifice, whatever that is, that gives that character like a lot of depth and makes it way interesting. And you hit on
Or
that.
they're slaves. That if she was Venus, she would have slaves. She would see humans as slaves. That Rome had slaves. And I would want to see, how does she treat her slaves? Does she let them, do they sleep on mattresses or do they sleep on straw? Do they get this good food? Like, would she share? Does she have slaves prepare her food and then they're not allowed to make it for themselves too? Or when the slaves prepare her food, after they serve her, do they get to go back and eat the leftovers that were made in the making of her meal? So how she treats her slaves, and that would be a good indicator of how good of a goddess she really was.
Right. And you could show character depth and nuance with that, with how she relates to other people, which is always great. So yeah, I mean, that's all I had as far as the to-dos, like things that they should, This should be more than a freaking virtue signaling character. This should be like an actually three-dimensional
They should have
personality that you can.
There should be no virtues. That someone that omnipotent and powerful wouldn't give a fuck about morality. That
You know
they
what that
are
reminds me?
the law. They make the rules.
You know what you reminded me of? Akasha. Remember Akasha and Queen of the
Damned? Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Like that.
If I wrote a perfect woman, that's who I would write. That's what I think a perfect woman would be. And if that's what I'm saying is if I wrote a movie with a female protagonist, every woman would want to be her. And men would actually enjoy watching it because she wouldn't suck. She'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
She'd be, and then she might be all powerful, but she might have no compassion for people. But if I wrote Akasha, there'd be some things that did matter to her. Having her care about nothing at all was boring.
Yeah. Yeah, she has to have
because
like
then why did she even
something.
do something? She just wanted to drink blood. Like that's boring.
Yeah.
After she filled up on blood, that would have been enough. She doesn't need to go do anything else.
Yeah. Then it's like, then what? Unless there's some kind of motivator or something behind that, right? So, all right, man. Now that we talked about, let's cleanse the palate a little bit. Let's forget the corporate checklist queens and the Captain Marvels and all that shit. And let's talk about the Gonzos and maybe Todd's. We'll have to see. Top 15 most badass female characters in nerd culture. Here we go. And number 15, one of my favorites, and I know she's one of your favorites, and it's Private Jeanette Vasquez from Aliens.
Yep. She was a cool character.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. She was strong-willed, assertive, confident, competent.
Yes.
But she also cared about the men that she was serving with. She didn't take any shit for them, but she was one of the guys.
Yes.
She didn't act like a girl. She looked like a girl, but she didn't act like a girl. She acted like one of the guys. She was a real soldier that you could count on.
She had her worth. She had proven her worth. Too.
Yeah, she was competent.
Yeah. And you could also see, when you think about it, she didn't get a ton of screen time. So whoever wrote her well and tidily enough in the script to give us all that information in a very short amount of time.
I don't think anyone wrote her. I think that the actress just took the character and nailed it.
And elevated her. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because she was not a love interest of anybody. You know, she wasn't a plot device either.
No.
She was a soldier. She was one of the cadre.
Yep. She was one of the most interesting characters in all the Alien movies, 1,000,000 times more interesting than Ripley. She did such a better job than Sigourney Weaver at playing that type of character. Because over the span of multiple movies, Sigourney Weaver was supposed to morph into a soldier, and she just was like fucking watching paint peel. She is the most boring actress.
Yeah. I mean, we differ in opinion a little bit there because we'll probably end up getting to her if I remember correctly. She's probably in here.
Let me give you an example. In The Defenders, she's an immortal villainess. Boring as shit. Vanessa, in the most recent Daredevil, was better at playing a villainess than the fucking immortal villainess, all because Sigourney Weaver is such a shit actress.
Yeah.
Had they cast the Vanessa character as Sigourney Weaver's character, then that would have been an incredible show. But the villain is what carries the fucking show. And The Defenders had no real villain. It had Sigourney Weaver, and she did a shit job.
I'll agree with that. The Defenders could have been a lot better. Definitely with that change.
If they had cast Vanessa's actress with then, and let's take, for example, the Penguin. The main female character was as good, if not better, than Colin Farrell. She totally carried that fucking show.
Yeah, true.
So there are amazing actresses out there, and there are amazing female characters, but they aren't written by women.
Yeah.
A woman didn't write the Penguin.
I have no idea who wrote that, but it was tight.
A woman didn't write Aliens. It was James Cameron.
James Cameron. That was James Cameron, 100%. So for sure. All right, moving on. Number 14. This one's interesting. So I'm thinking, and this is just because we're both vampire nerd freaks, Celine from Underworld series, she's interesting because
she's boring as shit.
Well, because I found her
but she's a shit actress. That
Yeah, she's not a good actress, but
Rona Mitra did a much better job in the third Underworld movie
I
than
agree
Kate
with that.
Beckinsale did.
I
But if
agree
they
with that.
cast
Rona
Rona
Mitra. Yeah.
Mitra instead of Kate Beckinsale, the Underworld movies would have been a million times better.
Okay, I'll actually change my opinion here, and that is absolutely true. I forgot about Rona because Rona is a good actress, and I've seen her
She
in.
was the best character on Boston Legal.
Yeah, yes, she was the most interesting one again.
And Lake
Because she's.
Bell. Rona
Yep.
Mitra and Lake Bell carried Boston Legal.
Yeah, because they were interesting and they were complex and they were emotionally, like they had all kinds of viewpoints and they felt organic and real,
Guess what? That show wasn't written by women.
True. Even though I did like, what's his face? Not Danny Crane, the other guy. Ultron, James Spader. I've always liked James Spader.
I do want to point out Diablo Cody is a female writer who does a good job of writing characters.
True. She did Juno. What else did she do? She's done a couple things. Jennifer's Body, I think. That was her.
Yep. And she also wrote Orange is the New Black, which is not a good show, but every one of those characters is great.
Yeah. The character development and the depth is amazing in that show.
Yes.
I remember we saw the first couple of seasons and it was solid. It was very good.
I will say that Jane Espenson, who took over Buffy in the 4th season, Jane can carry a show. I like Jane. Yeah, but she grew up under Joss Whedon. And the dialogue was never as good as when Joss wrote it.
Yeah. Joss had a talent, he did have a talent to develop female characters. Some of his stuff is on this list, by the way.
Okay, let's keep going.
Oh, yeah. So number 13, super quick. We got 30 minutes to get through this. We got this, though. 13, one of your favorites for sure. Lagartha, for sure, from Vikings.
Lagatha.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Lagatha.
I am not the Viking expert. You are.
But it's Catherine Winnick is the actress.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah, I think that she was amazing. She did a great job. She totally had one of the best female protagonists ever. Yeah. And as the show went on, Lagartha just got better and better and better.
Yeah. And I mean, she survives everything in that show. Everything. Like, there's the love, there's loss, there's betrayals, there's battles.
And she was the main character by season 6.
Yeah, and she just keeps going. So, so yeah, definitely well-written, fucking amazing character. Moving on to number 12 real quick. You and I have talked about this. Ahsoka Tano.
Squibs is one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yep. I mean, everything about her. She actually went, you know what I was thinking? She actually went through the hero's journey even more so than Luke or Anakin in her own way. Like it's a more real version of the
because you got to watch it over 6 fucking seasons of the Clone Wars. It wasn't just 3 episodes. It was, I would say, 130 episodes.
Yeah. And she had like opportunities because of that time to like explore some themes that a lot of characters, male or female, don't get to explore, like the questioning authority. What are the Jedi doing? All that stuff. That's deep shit, man. That's like some real deep shit.
And she had villains to deal with, like Ventress.
Yes, Asajj.
That she had her own nemesis. Ventress was her nemesis. Yeah, and she's a kid. So you've got an adult fucking Sith who wants to kill you, and you're just a child.
Yep. Yeah. Asajj was great, though.
Dude, Ahsoka's such a great fucking character. And then they gave it to Rosario Dawson, who I love that actress, and she fucking nerfed it did a terrible job. It was boring as shit.
Yeah, I think that's an example of the writers doing a disservice to the character.
Rosario Dawson has nailed every character she's ever had. She's that fucking good. Even that boring ass nurse in Daredevil, she nailed that character. Yeah, and they give her Ahsoka Tano, one of the most important female characters in history, and she nerfed it because they had female writers that made her boring.
Well, they didn't give her any meat to like get into, to like kind of bite into and like sink her fangs into, if you will. So, yeah, definitely. All right, so number 11, and I'm not sure about this. I would have put her way she's probably like a 15 because Vasquez should have been
What's the
11.
character?
Jessica Jones. I like Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones was just snarky. She wasn't witty.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones was just snarky. She wasn't witty. Kristen, whatever her name is, I'm not a fan. She isn't pretty enough to be that much of a bitch.
There's that, and I mean, I liked the whole approach that she was pretty self-destructive, and they played around with that theme a little bit in the show, which was interesting. So that gave her something to like play against, you know. So from that perspective, definitely good. Yeah, definitely. I should have moved her up to like 15. Actually, 15 should have been the next character, which is Ripley, which we have to put her in there.
Ripley was the first female protagonist hero.
Yeah.
And she had the most boring ass actress in history playing her. Why not just have it be Meryl Streep? Meryl Streep's a better actress. Meryl Streep would have nailed that role.
Meryl Streep could do anything. She could
fucking Susan Sarandon would have done a better job. Helen Hunt would have done a better job. I'm picking women that age, you know what I mean?
Yeah, from that generation. Yeah, Helen Hunt would have been good. That's a good call.
Olympia Dukakis would have done a better job. Like,
probably.
Helen Mirren would have done a better job.
Helen Mirren is strong,
would have done
man.
a better job. Every fucking woman in Hollywood would have done a better job than Sigourney Weaver at playing that character.
Yeah. Helen Mirren, man, like that woman her career is amazing. Do you remember the old Excalibur, the John Boorman movie? Rent it sometime.
Go back and check it out.
Yeah.
Dude, her character in Mobland was so goddamn good.
Oh yeah. Well, check her out. She plays Morgan Le Fay in Excalibur.
My favorite character in Arthurian lore.
Oh yeah. And the movie is fairly faithful within a 2-hour period to the Arthurian legends, and it's pretty raw actually for the time period and all that. Like, it's stylized, but it's still got like some serious stuff happening.
I have to say the Guy Ritchie retelling is my favorite retelling.
That's a different, that's a different,
because Charlie Hunningham, and then they managed to make it about gangsters in London, even though it's about King Arthur. Dude, Guy Ritchie's one of the best directors.
I like Guy Ritchie. I like him a lot. I like his crime. He's good. Was it The Gentleman, that show that he did on Netflix? That was phenomenal.
Fucking great.
With Freddy the chicken fucker or whatever. Play the chicken. That's not enough chicken.
Well, the movie was better than the show, but the show was good too.
Oh, I've never seen that movie, though.
The movie, it's Colin Farrell in it. It has Hugh Laurie in it, I believe is his name. It's got not Hugh Laurie, no, Hugh Grant. And it has it has the Texan guy, you know, the all right, like that guy. I forgot his name. Matthew McConaughey. Yep, it's got him in it.
Okay, I know what I'm doing later. After
way
the show.
Better. And the female character in that movie is amazing because she was written by a man.
Go figure. There we go. All right, coming in hot number 9. This one definitely earns her place. Sarah Connor in Terminator 1 and 2. Like the original OG Sarah Connor. From fucking waitress to like badass survivor. And you actually see the progression. I think, like, especially in Terminator 2, man. Like, I remember seeing that as a kid. And I was like, what?
No, I wasn't impressed. When I was a kid,
man,
everybody was making such a big deal out of her. And I just thought she was pretty fake. That it's like she went from being a victim to being this extremely serious killing machine. There was no transition from those two things. It just wasn't believable at all to me.
I don't know, man.
She did a good job of playing the actress, sold the role, but the writing was sloppy. James Cameron just needed this to exist and then just forced it.
Well, it was so it's that time jump between the movies that made it kind of like,
it was
this just
only
happened,
8 years.
Right? Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you don't see a progression like you would see on screen. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see the
character arc isn't an arc if there's no arc, if it's a teleportation.
Yeah, that's fair. But definitely, I think she did change and she did move forward. The whole idea of like the strong, you know, heroic female, for sure. Action, like, can carry an action movie.
So who's
can
8?
be done. Yeah, absolutely. Number 8 is Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones.
I was just gonna say, I hope it's Arya. All right. So Brianna Tarth was a fucking cool character that Gwendolyn Christie pulled that off and nailed it. That
Incredibly,
she did
yeah.
a much better job than the character was in the books.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
And especially how she able to have a one-sided romance with Jamie while Jamie went through his character arc, that she went from hating him to falling in love with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you never quite tell, is she falling in love with him because he's the most handsome man in Westeros, or because he really did have a knight's heart and was just cynical and jaded because he had such an evil father.
Yeah, which is really what it was. I think she saw the tragedy of him too, that he was like doomed from the get-go, kind of, you know, with the dad and all that. He was kind of
by
like
far the two, Tyrion and him, Jamie, are my two favorite characters from Game of Thrones, and I completely identify with the two of them. I see myself as a blend, and their character arcs reminds me of the different, but two sides of me that when I was young to the two sides of me as I got older.
Gotcha. Interesting. Because they were both very damaged characters that rose above that damage. They decided to not let their circumstances define them, and they broke through them in their own way. Even though they were, even though Jamie in the end, I mean, it was a fitting end.
That was the most romantic thing that's ever happened in any movie ever. Is that in episode 3, when he's sitting in the bath, he said he wants to die in the arms of the woman he loves.
Right.
And so when he knew for a fact Cersei was going to die, he left the bed of Brienne to go ride to his sister.
Yep.
Not to rescue her,
but to be
because
with her.
if she dies, then he can't die in her arms. And he didn't know for sure it was Cersei was his one true love until he slept with Brienne, the only other woman he ever slept with, and felt nothing.
Right.
And then he's like, okay, I was fucking my sister because I'm madly in love with her, and it's the only woman I've ever slept with. I really am in love with her, despite the fact, not because of her being my sister.
Yeah.
So he'd rather go die in her arms than live happily ever after with Brienne. That is the most tragically romantic thing I've ever heard of. All up until the point where she's panicking and looking at everything but him. And then he's holding her against his chest so that he can just smell her hair as they die.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's tragic and beautiful all at once.
Yeah. And
that was done well.
And not a single fucking woman wrote that. Not a one.
Fair.
Only a man knows what romance is.
Yep.
When has a woman ever done something romantic?
I don't know.
They want, they expect it. They want it. They don't know what it is, and they'd never do it.
It's like magic. You know, you just know when it happens. You don't know how it happens. You don't know the details, but it's like magic. That's what it is. All right, number 7, I have this one. This one I'm not sure if you're familiar with because I don't know your anime Japanese stuff, but she definitely stands out to me. And it's Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. You ever watch Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, and then they made Scarlett Johansson some white chick.
Yeah, but that's stupid. Like, not that one. Like I'm talking about the actual anime and manga where like this character.
I don't remember the character being anything special.
Well, she had a lot of. First, she was competent as a police officer and all that.
She was,
that, which is good. And then she had a lot of the existential dread, kind of like there was a lot of thought and depth in how she was written, which is why I put her here because it's well done.
I'll have to rewatch it. I love anime, and I like older anime. Yeah. The newer anime is too juvenile.
Yeah,
the stuff from the 90s was way more hardcore.
And I felt like tighter storytelling too, like better storytelling, very, very tight, very like, you could see the character development and all that. It was, the 90s was a good time for anime for sure. Like for sure. Next, kind of in the anime style, I put Alita Battle Angel in here.
Well, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the perfect example because it came out opposite of Captain Marvel.
Yes.
And how Alita Battle Angel represented everything you'd want out of a female protagonist. And Captain Marvel was everything lacking in a character.
I mean, remember her? When she started, she had this sense of wonder of like, wow, what is this? And all this. And as she develops and gets fiercer and stronger, it felt real. It felt like these experiences are shaping her, and she's changing, and she has a connection with people and with, man, just a well-written all-around character that could kick ass too. There's that.
Yeah.
So, number 5, I put Furiosa, and specifically Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road. The actual well-written
the Charlize Theron character.
Yeah.
I
Not
haven't
the one from the
rewatched
other
it.
one.
I've tried to rewatch the Mad Max with Tom Hardy, because I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan, multiple times.
Same.
And I just hated everything else about it, the movie, and I just can't sit through it.
Oh, you don't like I love the cinematography in that. The direction's fucking great, man. It's beautiful. But that's just a matter of personal taste, And I did like how, again, with very few lines, you get the depth of the character and the rage and all that. And it's a little bit more complex. It's not like this very simple, like, I'm just an angry woman. Like, no, there's depth in there.
Charlize Theron is an amazing actress. She nailed every single role she's ever done, even back to 2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah, man, that's a callback right there. That's a good callback right there. Okay, so number 4, I'll go with a classic, Buffy Summers. We've talked about Joss.
Of course.
And
Buffy is the quintessential badass character. She's everything Ripley wasn't, but should have been. Buffy is the best, even in season 4, where that guy that she was dating, who is the soldier, he said, I've never seen anything like it. You get the information, you make the plan, you tell the team all their parts in the plan,
right?
You execute the plan, you do everything. He was so impressed, because it takes multiple people in the military to do what she does. She's like the CIA, a general, a squad leader, and a special operative all in one. She does
all
it
in
all.
one. Yep.
And then she's not even like traditionally smart. She's not book smart at all. She just makes good decisions and is a great leader.
She's astute, like sly and smart in a real world way. Yes.
She's got perception. She had perception and wits from World of Darkness, but she didn't have intelligence.
Yeah, probably 5 and 5. Probably.
Well, yeah, something up there.
All right, so next I have a character that was done really well in the show. I have not read the books, which is Yennefer of Vengerberg from the Witcher. I loved her. That was great.
Yeah, the actress was a great character. The way that she basically started evil, and she became a different type of evil.
Yep.
And that even though basically Geralt, he fell in love with her, even though she's just an evil person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was well done. Again, complex, not simple, not like she's nice, she's good, she's cute. There we go. No, very complex. And, coming from a place again of trauma and hurt. So she decides to kind of like get her power and revenge back. That whole thing was complex, but well done. It wasn't simplistic at all. It was really well done in my opinion. So number 2, let's see. I don't know if you're a fan of this franchise or not, but Éowyn from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Liv Tyler's boring as shit.
Yeah.
She can't play anything.
Well, she was perfect elf. Perfect elf woman. I'm perfect elf woman.
She's just pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's boring as shit. Evangeline Lilly did a much better job of playing an elf backup to Legolas in the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, what was her name? Toriel, I think. Toriel.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I mean, Evangeline Lilly's not a great actress, but she's a lot better than Kate Beckinsale, Sigourney Weaver, or Liv Tyler.
Well, she's very, you know what she's good at, because I loved Lost, even though the ending, I could see it
subtlety. She's great at playing, at keeping her cards close to her chest, where you can see in her eyes that the gears are turning, but she's good at playing a deceptive woman who keeps her cards close to her chest. Kind of like Sansa Stark later.
Yeah, later. When she was tough.
When she was more of an adult, that when Sophie Turner was a child, she couldn't play the depth of the Sansa character. By the span of 10 years, Sophie Turner could play Sansa. I feel when she got older, she actually read the books and found out how smart Sansa was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then did a better job of playing her. Because in the books, Sansa was smart from day one, and everything was her internal monologue. Because in the first 4 seasons, Sansa doesn't talk. But in the books, she's thinking a lot of fucking crafty shit.
Right. She's already playing the game. She's already playing.
She's so much better at it than her parents or Rob. Because she survived in King's Landing. They couldn't even survive with fucking armies protecting them.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. That's very true. Anyway, so Eowyn, I put her in here because, I mean, she goes from like a character in the background to a fucking badass on the battlefield. Do you remember, what was their line? The line, I am no man. That was her big line.
I totally misunderstood what you're talking about. You mean that one. Okay, I thought you were talking about the, no.
Not the elf woman, Eowyn. That's the one.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because no man can kill the Lich King of Agamar. So a woman and a hobbit did, though.
Yeah. And it's so badass when it happens, too, because, she was a wallflower at the beginning. She was like this good girl in the court, and eventually she's got like, shield, armor, helmet, sword, and off she goes, man. Badass.
Yeah, all right. Courage goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And character growth that makes sense to the story goes a long way. Speaking of which, my number one, and I'm sorry, I put the list together mostly, so this is me, and it's Princess Leia. I had to put Princess Leia in here. And I mean Princess Leia without the Disney part.
Right. That the way that Carrie Fisher played Leia was heroic as fuck. Yep. She was a snarky smartass to some degree, but she picked up a blaster and she helped Han and Luke rescue her. She didn't just, she wasn't a damsel in distress. She was pulling triggers from the very first thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember when they rescue her and she immediately takes fucking charge. Like, now that I'm out.
She's like, aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Yeah, like without a hesitation.
And he's like, oh, I'm Luke. I'm here to rescue you. And then she grabbed a blaster and she started shooting.
That's right. And never stopped, And then when Han's like, oh, we escaped, it's blah, blah, blah. She's already like 10 steps ahead. She's like, they let us go, right? And that they're tracking us. You know this, right? Like, she's like so much ahead of him and Luke and everything. I mean, beautiful fucking character, beautifully written. And it's that balance, like you said, that balance of witty without being snarky. Smart without being like girl boss, can handle her own, like Vasquez with the men. She's one of the team, she's not like subservient to the team, nor is she artificially like the boss of the team either. She's right in there.
All right.
Yeah.
One, she's the one who killed Jabba.
Yeah. By hand, no less. Like, not she didn't like use a blaster. By hand.
She fucking by hand.
Yeah. She grabbed that fucking chain and got to it, That's pretty badass. She was badass. Definitely badass.
In the bikini. While chained up like a slave girl. She used the objectification and sexualization of her gender as a weapon. And he gave her enough chain to hang himself with it.
Yes.
So it's metaphorical of feminism and about hubris, of sloppy pig men.
Yes.
Objectifying women.
And it's beautifully executed. Beautifully executed.
And they had to establish how abusive he was and sadistic that he would murder that Twi'lek just to watch her die.
Yeah.
So that you had to hate him. Or that he eats his food alive.
Yeah, the little poor little frog things or whatever they were.
That used to bug me when I was a little kid.
I'll bet. Yeah.
I hated Jabba, dude. I saw it in the theaters and I was crying my eyes out. I hated fucking Jabba. He was so evil.
Oh man. Hey, you want to talk about like a traumatic movie experience? I'll share two real quick.
Let me guess. Before we go. Dark Crystal?
No. Well, yeah. That too.
Dark Crystal was
thought of that,
scary as fuck when you're a little kid.
So there are two. And remember, I'm a little bit older than you are. So
Okay.
just to set the scene. First one, by far, my parents knew that I love Star Wars. So when Alien came out, my parents, they're not nerds. They don't know anything. They saw, oh, it's a movie with a spaceship or whatever. And Gonzo's going to love seeing this movie. It came out in what, 78, 77?
77, 78, yeah.
Okay, so I'm like 7 years old, 8, like just fresh off of Star Wars, I guess, and the sci-fi, whatever. Bro, when that face hugger chest burster came out, my 7-year-old ass, and my parents didn't care about ratings either, because I think the movie was rated R, if I remember correctly. They didn't give two shits. They were like, it's sci-fi. How bad could it be? Bro, I apparently, as a little kid, threw up in that theater when that thing came out. So that was definitely like one of the most traumatic things ever.
I saw Dark Crystal was 1982, right?
I think so, yeah.
So I saw it in the theater when I was 3.
Yeah. Shit.
And I saw Return of the Jedi when I was 4.
Yeah. So no wonder Java bothered you.
So by the time I was 6, I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street. And it wasn't even phasing me.
Well, let me tell you the other traumatic story. You're going to love this one. And this one was, I was a little older, and this is when they had just gotten HBO in Puerto Rico on cable. It was like brand new. And one of the featured films was The Exorcist. Okay?
Okay.
Now, picture this, if you will. My parents had told me, you do not get to sneak out. They knew I was curious about the movie. Remember, everyone on that freaking island is Catholic. Everyone. Okay. So I've already got all the mythology and all the stuff in my head. So of course, Gonzo doesn't listen. And I think I was probably, I want to say it was 8, 9. I was young. I was definitely relatively young. So I snuck out to the living room, turned on the TV with like low volume, and watched The Exorcist. And let me tell you what a bad idea that was, because I couldn't go to I was scared out of my mind, and I couldn't go to my parents or anybody, because I'm not supposed to be watching this movie in the fucking first place. Bro, that was trauma, man. It was traumatic when that little girl started head spinning around and shit. Holy fuck. That was awful. Anyway, that's all I got for you tonight, man. That's it. So everybody, if you like the insanity that are our conversations, click subscribe, do all the things, and we'll have more insanity, maybe on location next week, Todd, depending on you and how you're feeling.
That's the night before the show. We could probably do an episode.
Yeah, like I said,
it'll have to be around. I think I get painted either at 5, and we've got the meeting at 6, and check-ins at 6, or check-ins at 5, and I get painted at 6. But I don't know if we'll be back to my hotel by 7, but I should be back by 8 for sure.
No worries. We'll keep it flexible. You tell me when, I can jump on whenever. So that's not a problem. Cool. And it'll be like the crazy show version. So yeah, it'll be amazing, man. And best of luck, by the way. You're down to 8 days. You're right there, brother. You're right there. All this work that you've done about to pay off, and you're about to get your Technicolor experience. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. All right, man. All right. Well, have a good night. Everybody, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gonzo. See you later, man.
Anytime, sir.